Welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the crash there. We are just going to we had to just take a few minutes there just to sort that out. Do apologize in advance there, but we're going to turn off the synthwave, and we are pretty much going to be under racing conditions as now the formation lap is underway indeed. So let's go through your starting formation as its fellow son on pole position, followed by Moksha there in the Red Bull, second place, and third place it's Herman the German, your championship leader as of right now, just trying to hang on to things as they stand right now. Fourth, it is Danger David in the Alpine, of course, a likely championship contender with Andy Andre, and it's Pleasant Snake starting in fifth position with the V-Carb of Rush the Series, hoping to bring some sort of charge into the latter half of the places in the second half of this season. Then it's Andy Andre, the third championship contender, trying to make his way to catch up to Herman, and has nearly done so and isn't too far away off that championship lead. Kovachka starts in 8th position in the Aston Martin in his race chase in 9th position. Tarkin Gino starts 10th position. Evor in the Gig Sauber in 11th, and Energetic in the McLaren starts 12th. It's Brown in the Haas, which starts 13th. Toby in the Alpine starting 14th. Quincy in the Kick Sauber starts 15th on medium tyres, it would seem. And it's No Sabo in the other Ferrari, taking the seat of Chugster for the time being. He starts 16th. Then it's Kwan in 17th. Racing Wheel in the Haas in 18th. Vero Ducco in 19th starts in the Aston Martin. Then it's Skid Solo. No time in qualifying, starts 20th. So now we'll have a look at the tyres. Everybody on mediums apart from the Haas drivers. So the Haas starting on the hard tyres, looking to undercut or overcut, depending on how you look at it as well. We're going to have to jump to third place and go on board for the start of this one. So we'll be following things from Herman the German's point of view once we go underway. Nobody disqualified from the formation lap, so everybody is on hot tyres as we have 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's going Austria, and what a delayed reaction that was from the McLaren, but the Red Bull gets underway quicker than you can say smoke and goes into the lead into turn 1. Might have a track limit violation there as he cut across. Pleasant Snake and Rush the Series are fighting in the background, but Evor is from 11th to 9th there as that fellow son on the comeback here, as Herman has to defend from the Alpine of David there, as Andy Andre is now up into 5th position as well. Not bad start from the Williams driver there, but in the end Pleasant Snake had the traction on the exit of the corner. We've had a yellow flag as Skid Seller has improved up into 19th. Tarkin Gino has had a moment. Oh, there's been another moment though with fellow son and Danger David. Danger David was, of course, involved in controversy last week when he made contact with Andy Andre on the final lap of the race, and it's happened on the first lap of the race, and your championship contender is now down to 11th position. So now Moksha could be a different winner in this season's proceedings. But anyway, Moksha obviously first across the line, as now Evor is up into 5th. Pleasant Snake is pitting because of damage to his front wing, I would assume, but Evor up into 5th position in that Kick Sauber. An impressive start from him. Let's have a look at the biggest winners and losers, of course. Biggest losers include Danger David and fellow son. Biggest winner by far and away so far is Evor there in the Kick Sauber, which we are riding on board with right now, but Herman hasn't been able to catch the Red Bull on this second lap. So that is very interesting there. So Moksha with good pace there, but Andy Andre as well, a really good start from him. From 7th to 3rd already in 2 laps. He is up into 3rd position as now Toby and fellow son are actually going at each other. I think fellow son has made another mistake. He's now down 11 positions as Danger David continues to climb his way up the field. So a lot of battles to keep an eye on. We will certainly bring you them as we go, but at the moment this hard strategy not working out too bad for Tabran. Thanks to the earlier incident, he's up into 9th place as well, so this has been a really good start. But Herman and Andy are together on circuit again, and David has it all to do. Probably not his fault, to be honest with you, although I don't quite remember how the contact worked, so we'll try and have a look back on that if we do get the opportunity, if a safety car does indeed reveal itself. But now Herman has the DRS of the Red Bull in front, but Andy also has the DRS of Herman here. So everybody in this battle has DRS, apart from the leader, of course, as now Fellow Son in the background up into 11th here. As at the moment, we also see the top three remain line astern, but for how much longer? Let's go to Skid Solo. As of right now, is pretty much safe in terms of position, as Danger David now will cut to him, has just got himself up into 9th place, so is overtaken to Brown there. Will need to make use of the tyre life as of right now. He was started this evening in 2nd place in the championship standings, but that is now under threat with Andy and Herman being so high up in the field. Now Moksha has been able to get half a second on 2nd place, so we should be safe for the time being. But of course, if that changes, we will cut right back to it. And in fact, with the second DRS zone, this might be under some threat. Keep an eye on it, but I think Moksha will hang on to that for the time being. Indeed he will. And look at that Haas there in the background going all squirrely. The Aston Martin has done the same. So now Danger David will have to run. As a natural fact, there has been a lead change there. So Herman gets past the Red Bull there from what might have been a long ways back. As Danger David has also done the same. He's gone down the inside there at turn number 3 and is now up into 8th place. But the Aston Martin fights back rather epically round the outside as of right now. But David later on the brakes. No lockup from either driver. Exciting stuff. And David is up into 8th place, so he's doing what needs to be done rather early. Lap 4 out of 36, and we've had plenty of action up and down the field, and this is proving to be an epic race so far. But Moksha now down into 2nd. What does he have in terms of a response on Herman? He will have the DRS, he will have the slipstream, but look at this as well. Rush the Siri finds himself in this battle. He was, of course, the 3rd championship contender last season, but hasn't quite worked out for him this season as of right now. Could he form a late charge in these final 5 races if you include this evening's proceedings? As now I really want to see what Danger David is up to, but at the moment we are going to have a 3-wide battle for the lead there. There was Herman trying to go around the outside, but there's Andy Andre up into the lead. What a move that is, and Herman will fight right back for 2nd place, but the Red Bull will also have DRS, so he will be able to defend from this. Herman is in a sandwich but gets out of it. What a move from Herman. Opportunistic, but he's down to 2nd as Andy Andre takes the lead of the race here. And in all of that, we missed the move that Danger David made, but he is now up into 7th place, but has 3.2 seconds to race chase. So the top 6 in a battle of their own there. What do you do in this situation will be across the mind of Danger David. So now it's going to all go down to strategy. Remember, most drivers starting out on the medium compound of tyres, apart from the 2 Haases. So that's all that is an aberration there. Just the Haas drivers who are, I repeat, on hard tyres. And now we are going to see this battle for the lead, which is currently a 6-car battle. And remember, the backs usually become spread out once strategy is involved. Now, Danger David is going to be under threat from 7th position. In fact, he's already been overtaken by the McLaren of Energetic, but will these two try and work together to try and get their way to the top 6? I think that is in fact what they are doing. Look at that, they are working like clockwork. They're swapping DRS with one another. There's nothing you can do about that, but unfortunately still 3.1 seconds to go to the top 6 as well. Everybody remains line astern now, so I think everybody's settled into their relevant DRS trains. David, though, still remaining 3.1 seconds back to the top 6 as of right now. But look at this. We have got a reignition of the battle, which has been ongoing for the previous 2 seasons. The battle for the championship, which is between the top 2 on your screen, Herman the German, as he goes up to the lead of the race. And Moksha was looking to have a go there. And also, we have Rush the Siri involved in this picture, so the sister teams don't really want to be fighting. But also, Race Chase here could be the master undercut, as now Andy RJ to the outside there into turn number 3, I think that is. He locks up his brakes going into the corner, but he's all okay. As of right now, he gets the corner, he meets the apex and gets it all done. As Quincy now up into 12th. He's having a good race of his own, but 5.8 seconds to Fellow Son in 11th, and Fellow Son not having a good day at the office either. Hasn't been able to make as much progress as Danger David either. And Danger David is bringing down that gap to the cars in front. 2.4 seconds on 3.1 seconds last lap. Toby as well makes another move on Quincy, but Quincy with the traction on the exit of the corner. Who wins out this battle for 12th position? It is Quincy for the time being, as Quan as well in the background there is also having a bit of a fight himself with Racing Wheel and No Sebo, as Rush the Series is the first driver to fall for the track limit penalties. 3 seconds will be added on to the end of his race time. And well, he's going to have to hope that the drivers around him do follow suit, as now Racing Wheel, you know what happens when one follows. When one falls, the others fall with them, and that's the case for Racing Wheel. He's the next driver to get a 3-second track limits penalty there. So that will, of course, be added on to his race time at the end of the race. Cannot be served in the pit lane, as it's technically considered gaining an advantage during the race. Oxford putting in a very good drive at the moment, but also got to give it up for Danger David as well. He's still trying to keep on the back of this. Race Chase is now beginning to drop off as well. So that should give him a free go, some free real estate once he catches up to Race Chase. And then there'll be Evor as well, as now we're starting to see some swaps in the background. Racing Wheel losing a couple of positions there to Toby, and I think Quincy's also involved in this. Toby and Quincy going side by side with one another. Quincy wins out yet again, but he's having a fantastic battle there for 12th position with Toby. We will keep an eye on that, but can they both keep it within track limits as Toby fights back there to the inside of Lind here, and then coming through to Red Bull Mobile. It seems like Quincy will have the DRS yet again, but now we really need to keep an eye on that battle for the lead, because Herman is to the inside here, but is cut off by the Williams. But they are, though I say that, they are still side by side on the exit of the corner, so that means that the Mercedes will have the DRS on the exit, and so will the Red Bull. The Red Bull looking to try and take opportunity here, can't quite find the room. But now Herman will take the lead of the race as of right now. 9 laps out, 36 to go. The Red Bull looking to the outside, round through this corner as well. The medium speed corner. The Red Bull has found a gap big enough for his car, but couldn't quite make it work. The traction wasn't on his side there, as Evor as well is still with this battle as well. So Evor having an excellent race as of right now. Wasn't the best qualifying, but that's now all in the past. He is making it work in the race and is making it work beautifully. But also an update on David here as well. He's starting to see the battle come into his crutches here, so this is becoming a very nice recovery from him. Race Chase is down by 2 seconds, but also fellow Sutter has made his way past his teammate there, so I believe his teammate's just trying to help him out in terms of everything. As now Andy Andre back to the lead of the race. And guess what? I thought Moksha there had swapped with the V-Carb of Rush the Series, but hadn't quite happened. But Herman will still be side by side with the Williams, of course, while they're fighting. They are, of course, got a concertina the pack to Race Chase. And, of course, Danger David as now Herman still around the outside there. They are still side by side through turn corners. This is excellent racing from the two championship contenders. We're just missing our third one, but it is Andy Andre that wins out in the end. And now Danger David is just above that 1 second window, as now Toby has also got past for 12th on Quincy, but they're going to be swapping throughout the entire race, I imagine. And there is just a lot of action out on track as of right now. So here we go. We've now cut to Danger David. Can he get within a second before the detection zone? No, because he's also got a 3-second penalty for track limit warning. So that might be his comeback all in tatters there. That's very unfortunate there from the Alpine driver, as now the evening will just get slightly more irritating. So he's in a battle with Rush the Series as things stand right now, as Racing Wheel also gets a 3-second penalty, but also Herman the German fighting for the lead, and it's still Andy Andre that wins out for now. But of course the Mercedes will have DRS at the end of this straight. Still, as now the Red Bull is looking for another opportunity to make his way past. Just put a bit of pressure on, I imagine. They're just trying to force one of the drivers into a mistake, but Andy Andre is seemingly better on the brakes and on traction. He wins out on the battle for the time being, and this has been an excellent race from the top three. In fact, dare I say the top five, as now Danger David has caught to the back of the Red Bull, and we will keep an eye on this for the time being, but I imagine we're going to see a swap for the lead before long as well. Keep an eye on it as Russia Series very wide there into Rind. Beyond the white lines, I will say as well. And here we go. We are surely going to see something happen now as Evor passes Rush the Series there for 4th place. So now the top 4 battlers, Herman and German very wide on the exit of the corner. That allows Moksha through. And Moksha there just squeezing him out just a little bit there onto the edge of track limits as Tarkangino now falls for a 3-second penalty thanks to track limit warnings. Dage Davids found his way past Race Chase. We have a caution in Sector 3, which is short-lived. That, I think, was thanks to the Ferrari there, as Kovachka now makes a move on Race Chase for 7th. So now Kovachka relegates the Red Bull down to 8th place. So now, Dage David has now got to try and find a way to bring the gap down, although it matters very little considering the track limits penalty. He's just going to have to hope that drivers around him do fall for the same thing. Now, I know one question that we're all going to be asking is when are we going to see pit stops? And in fact, right on cue, there's Herman into the pits looking to do the undercut. So let's remind ourselves on who's on what. It's the 2 Haas on hards. In fact, make that for Doko as well. He was the first to pit and he's also on hards. So he's looking to undercut here. So Herman will come out in 11th position here. So he'll be between Quincy and Energetic 6. In fact, Quincy might have him before the first corner. Oh, Quincy's had a mistake. Quincy's in the barrier and has lost part of his front wing. Will that be a safety car call? No. The race control allowed the racing to continue for the time being, but I think a few hearts were in mouths there, especially for Herman, as he's now out on track, sandwiched between Alpine and a McLaren, as now Tabran makes a move on the Red Bull of Race Chase yet again. So now our championship contenders are looking a bit spread out at the moment. Of course, we have to wait for Andy Andre to make his pit stop, and the hards will go the distance, and Andy Andre looking to cover this off. He's seen that there is potentially a gap here and wants to take advantage of it. Quincy now down to 18th after all of that. We'll keep an eye on the Williams driver as he just slows down in time for the pit entry, as well. A few other drivers have followed through as well. So we'll see how it all works out. Kovachka with a 3-second penalty himself. Traban up into 3rd place. Let's just see, because Evil was leading when they came to their pit boxes. But now I'm wondering who's come out ahead. It's Andy RJ. And Herman, the German, undercuts the Williams driver beautifully. And now Herman is effectively your leader of the race. What a move by Herman, the German here. Andy RJ did everything right to cover them off. In fact, so did the rest of the drivers. But unfortunately, wasn't quite enough. So Herman did what he had to do. And now he's effectively the leader of your race. Hello, Quirky. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Good to see you. That would have been a shame. Lovely, says Quirky. I imagine this is to the undercut of Herman the German, of course, pitted last lap, and the rest followed suit 1 lap later, but it was already too late, and now Moksha has seen what's happened, and he's going to be coming into the pits, but it might be too little too late. Took a bit of grass on the entry here. It is going to be very interesting to see where he comes out. Evor is also not too far behind. Russia Sirius. Andy Archer with a 3-second penalty for track limit violations, and I think Moksha is going to find himself in the middle of a battle wherever he is, as Kwan now follows suit with a 3-second penalty. So Andy Andre has screwed his own race essentially, and now the Red Bull comes out 2.4 seconds behind. And well, we would have had a top 2 battle, but the track limit penalties have ruined that, and now Andy Andre is going to be one to suffer, and all the Mercedes driver needs to do, stay within DRS, and this race is essentially his, because I don't see how the rest behind are going to catch up. Round the outside, tries Herman, but ultimately was never going to work out. So Andy will effectively take the lead of the race, but Moksha is essentially on his own in 3rd place, but has pressure behind in the form of Rush the Series, despite its penalty. Evor and Fellow Son also making a stop, so he should be able to catch up to this, as Verdoko, Veroduko even, has also got himself a 3-second penalty, and next into the pits is Kovachka 95 in the Aston Martin. He should be onto the hard tyres sooner rather than later. And we'll just obviously see how this all goes from here. Skid Solo up into 15th as of right now. David now making his pit stop as well. Finds himself down in 14th position. Then basically everybody now scrambling into the pit lane. All hands on deck for the pit crew. And we already have 21 laps to go. So essentially that might be all there is to say about that for the time being. The racing might just come and die out from here on out. But anyway, if this was your real top three, what a top three this would be. And you kind of low-key, for the sake of racing, hoping for a safety car in this situation. The top three haven't pitted as of right now. Tabran up 12 positions, so from 13th to 1st as of right now. But of course, you have to remember these top three haven't served a pit stop as of right now. And I think the Red Bull of Race Chase is now about to do the same, along with the McLaren of Energetic. But Tabran will be of course one of the last to pit, as will the Haas outfit, as they all started on the hard tires. Now of course, looking at your track limit penalty so far, the most going to Racing Wheel. He has 6 seconds on the clock at the end of the race. I really want to compare what a used set of hards are like to a new set. Andy Andre, of course, pitting 3 laps ago, and Herman pitting 4 laps ago. These two will be on the trail of the Haas driver here. But at the moment, the pace deficit is looking to be quite substantial, as though Herman and Andy are just having a battle there. But they're actually letting... it was actually the Aston Martin of Vero Ducco trying to let these two through, so he doesn't impede their battle too much. But already you can see how those fresh tyres are looking on the Mercedes and the Williams. Of course, they would have had a helping of DRS for good measure, but I think Tabran has to try and see these tyres out until the top two catch up. He's not on their pace, and he will, of course, have to just let them through when that time comes. Anyway, though, we're going to have to try and find another battle to look at, because at the moment, Evor and, well, fellow son catching up to this eventually. I'll try and catch up, but of course, it's been a miserable evening for Danger David here. 3-second track limits penalty, and only riding in 10th position as of right now. It has not been the evening he would have wanted. Contact with the McLaren of fellow son earlier in the race. And it's just been a downhill spiral from there. We're going 3 wide into turn number 3 here. Who's going to work out ahead? It is Evor up into 4th place. What a move that was from the Kick Sauber. But of course, he'll have no DRS. He'll have to try and look to go into the middle of the track here. He doesn't. He cuts both drivers off fair and square. And it's now up into 4th place. But Moksha down a few positions as well. He was in 2nd and is now down to 6th place. And at the moment, these three not doing enough to catch us now. Race Chase with a 3-second penalty for track limit violations himself. So not a good evening for him as of right now, and has Danger David for company as well. So a lot of drivers wishing their evenings could go back, and I think Andy Andre will be punching himself slightly because he's going to lose ground on the championship leader, as will Danger David. So Herman getting very lucky here yet again. And it always seems to be how it works in Formula 1. Just the racing gods need to just point the light your way, and then you can start doing something special. As they'll rush the series to the inside, but of course it won't matter too much. But now you're going to see Moksha try and make a move on the Kick Sauber. Even as I would go 3 wide, there's several pieces of contact. 3-second track limits penalty for fellow son. Will he take that to the steward's room to try and get that removed? I think he will, because that technically wasn't on him. Looked like he was forced off, and there was just nowhere else to go, as Herman has also made his way past Andy Andre there. So he is now catching up to the back of the Haas. Now, what does Tabran decide to do? Does he hold out for a bit longer? No, he is straight into the pits, but will give Herman DRS onto the start-finish straight, and he will hang on to the lead for the time being. So here we go now. DRS will be open for the Mercedes, as it will for the Williams. But we're just going to cut away from this for the time being, because we're about to see a reignition for the battle for 4th. Fellow son a little bit out of this, but might challenge this in the steward's room to try and get that removed, as we have a caution in sector 3 for Tark and Gino here. Oh, and a Ferrari as well. Ferrari was nearly caught up in that contact, and their Ferraris are down in 16th and 17th. It has been a miserable evening for the Tifosi. As of right now, with 17 laps to go, I don't see their fortunes getting better. as of right now, unless if there's a late safety car. Just saw the new KFC Christmas ad. They said everyone else turkey instead of chicken. Drove to the other. They said, we saw you, we heard you, we ignored you again. Oh my word. That's an interesting approach, that's for sure. But anyway, Moksha at the moment holding on to third place, like the champion he is, although he's not actually won any sort of championship here in SSRL. Very much the debutant this season, as Vero Ducco with another 3-second penalty all the way down in 20th. I do believe that means he's gotten, no, I thought it was going to be 9 seconds, but it's actually 6 seconds to his total. As well, now Evor, it's a bit too far back to have a go at the Red Bull for third. Evor, though, having an excellent drive, as is Andy Andre, despite the fact that he is currently got a 3-second penalty to boot, so they will go and swap for the lead again, I imagine, through turn number 3. But Herman will be really happy with this. The past 2 weeks have been a bit off kilter for him, but at the moment now looks to be in a winning position, and thanks to that undercut as well, you gotta just hand it to him. When he played the strategy, he played it beautifully. He knew there would be separation between the cars once they'd done their pit stops, and of course got mixed in with traffic, and he's just played this to absolute perfection. Really, Herman should be very happy with how this has all played out. So at the moment, we are looking at what is at the moment a very clear win for the Mercedes driver, unless if something dramatic was to happen, but I highly doubt it. Herman might be trying not to force himself into a mistake, and the Williams, of course, will want to contribute to that. He might just try and look for opportunities which aren't really there. Maybe just try and force him into a little error, but I highly doubt that somehow. But we are currently observing the battle. Yes, there you go. The lead does change as of right now, but of course, with that penalty, it doesn't really add too much. As now Evor is going to try and go down the inside of the Red Bull there, gets that done, and there you go, the McLaren and the V-Cubs fighting in the background also. It looks like Fellowson has got that move done, but now, of course, the Kick Sauber is going to be vulnerable to the Red Bull behind, as the V-Cub was able to fight back, actually, on the McLaren there, and gets that move done. But also in the background, we've just missed this as, oh, caution to Brown in the wall after a moment, and Energetic up to 10th. So to Brown there has had a moment, and it was a brief yellow flag, and well, nothing to report there as of right now. So we will have an incoming ad break, but I'm going to put a snooze on that for the time being, as Rush Siri gets another 3-second penalty there. So let's just have a look at the totals, as Quan and Toby are having a bit of a fight in the background there. I'm trying to find an appropriate camera angle. Look at this. They are following each other through. Oh, well, with 14 laps to go as of right now. Looking interesting indeed, but already Herman and Andy are nearly on the back of this. So these cars might be lapped before the end of the race, but they do have a couple of other cars to go through, and they'll be very surprised to see Pleasant Snake there as well up with them. But we'll see how it all comes out towards the end of the race. We did not expect this, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a bit of a quiet affair in Austria, but in terms of Herman the German, this has been an absolutely perfect weekend for him. And Evor as well. Evor up into third place, so starting to show that spark that he had earlier on, as now Toby and Quan are doing battle yet again. So, well, we've had a caution set to 3 for some reason, but short-lived, so we'll continue on, as now Toby to the inside of Quan for 12th place. Gets the move done, as Evor now falls for a 3-second penalty. So really, Moksha has got this all said and done. And Quan is still around the inside there. So let's see if I can get a better view of that. No, I cannot. So we're just going to go down to Quan for the time being, as now we're seeing two Haas. And, well, a Haas and a Williams go side by side with one another. And now we're going to see this battle through to its completion. There's been a few swaps on the top 5. We'll adjust those in just a second. As Quan now with another 3-second penalty for track limit violation. So that brings his total up to 6 seconds. As the No Sebo also adds on to his total as well. It is all becoming a bit scruffy towards the end of the race here at the Red Bull Ring. As there you go, you can see Skid Solo there skipping the right line over the sausage curb he goes. But now, Well, Moksha doesn't really need to do a whole lot. As long as he stays in this position, he's got a guaranteed podium. He doesn't really need to be ahead fighting with any of these cars. As long as he stays within the 3-second window of all of them, he's gonna be A-okay. Energetic 6 as well. That battle seems to have just calmed itself down between himself and Tabran. Tabran on fresher medium tyres and Energetic on older hard tyres, I should say. As now, Fellow Sun will promote himself up into 3rd place, but how much it will matter, it's really a battle for 4th at that point. As now, Moksha trying to take advantage of the scraps here, but of course he will know that all 3 ahead have DRS. He doesn't really want to fight them too much. And so he stays put for the time being. But Moksha doing a fantastic job there in that Red Bull and looking to be on the podium once the evening has concluded. We have 12 laps to go as of right now. It will be 11 at the line, as Herman now has, well, a great drive from him as well. But Evel could have been driver of the day, but unfortunately that 3-second penalty has rather dulled his chances, as Skid Solo and Quan are now swapping for a genuine 12th position here. Quan now to the inside, and Quan really having a good race himself. We usually see him right at the back, but he's managed to find some paces. Oh my word, there's contact between Toby and Skid Solo there. Don't know if Skid Solo braked a little early for the Alpine there, but contact between the both of them. No safety car deployed, of course, as there was no damage from said contact, but Andy, RJ and Herman have swapped for the lead as of right now. So Herman relegated down to 2nd, of course, no bother at all. He's not going to be too worried about that. I don't think those 3-second penalties will be removed, as Andy's felt very much self-inflicted. We'll see how that all goes, though, as now we're going to see Skid Solo and Quan do battle with one another yet again, but it matters very little. They are separated by 3 seconds in terms of track limit penalties, as you can see on your screen. The only real battle that is genuine seems to be Danger David for 7th place there, as now you're seeing Skid Solo to the inside of the V-Carb driver, gets the move done rather beautifully, but squirrely on the exit there. Might lose a couple of positions. Toby not fighting that too hard, and can you blame him? He doesn't have a penalty. He just wants to keep it between the white lines on track. As now Toby is actually going to go for a move down the inside. Don't make contact like last time. And there's the Haas driver looking around the outside himself. And there you go. They both nearly make contact there as well. And in actual fact, with the Haas driver with a beautiful move there. As now we're going to see a switchback. Skid Solo is now starting to lose ground to the... Well, Toby is starting to lose ground to the car in front, as now we see a swap for 10th place. We'll come back to that in just a second, as now that all sorts itself out. But Energetic and Tabran now fighting for 10th place, of course. This isn't the final points-paying position. You score a point from 15th and above. So Toby really just kind of needs to hang on to his hats there. He would be a good 12th place for him once the evening is concluded, but needs to try and stick with the pack. And Toby, well, is being shoved around left, right and centre, probably being forced into a mistake. And also he now has Pleasant Snake for company, and maybe Quincy as well if he catches up. And Toby has been relegated down to 16th as Fellow Sun with another track limits warning, so he increases his total up to 6 seconds. Moksha with a bit of extra room, as Rush Siri also had another 3-second penalty. So it's all really gone wrong for a couple of drivers in the top 5. But also Danger David, can he just keep his head cool and maybe try and gain another couple of positions if he can bring the gap down? But of course that's not going to be easy when you have 2 really quick drivers behind but also who share penalties, so they might not be willing to play the team game here. Well, might not be willing to play the gains game here with the Alpine driver. Skid Solo and Quan swap positions again. You can see the after effects of that, because Quan now has a Ferrari down his inside, as Toby now with a 3-second penalty, and we were just observing him. He had no penalties up until that moment, but that's sadly all gone to waste now. Ferrari down the inside of the V-Carb there, gets the move done, and now has DRS to boot, so he's going to try and catch up to Skid Solo ahead. But no dice, has now rushed the series with another penalty. So now Danger David has what is essentially 6th place there, and there's been a bit of argy-bargy in the background here, as now Toby is still trying to recover some positions. but now needs to make a few overtakes due to his trail of his penalty. It says a Ferrari there going a bit rear end happy there, as Toby, I think, got the run on Kwan there, so he's now improved himself up into 15th position, but does have 3 seconds less in penalties as of right now. In terms of other battles on track right now, so it's become a bit of a stale, but in terms of racing action, there's a lot to look at despite penalties becoming a factor towards the end of the race. So at the moment, Evil just gets himself up into 3rd place, and believe it or not, still it would only be enough for 4th due to the fact of the Red Bull in the background there. And now with 8 laps to go at the line, I think it's 8 laps to go at the line. Not quite sure nowadays, as now Quincy gets a 3-second penalty, so he follows suit with his compatriots from 15th to 20th, so now he's not the only one anymore. We'll now need to make positions out on track. What are all the streamers on? I don't know, Quirky, but at the moment, Quartz Racing, Real, and Skid Solo are swapping positions through turn number 5, that is. Because that little kink is counting as turn 4 before the corner. As Rush the Series is up into 4th here. There's a lot of action happening up and down the track. And look at that. The McLaren and the V-Carb are going at each other like they're on the same track limit penalty amounts, but they are not. They are separated by 3 seconds. Fellow Sun with 6. Rush the Series with 9. But nobody's being allowed to create a gap. And at the moment, that is why Moksha is still very much there with us. As now Kovachka and Danger David are currently swapping positions with one another. Kovachka up into 7th place as of right now. So that's not worked out for the Alpine driver. I think just didn't have any sort of DRS or may have made a mistake, one of the two. But at the moment now, we are seeing missing a lot of overtakes as well. As now we have also got another one, and we got 3 wide as now Pleasant Stake is forced off the track there, and there's a Haas there who spun around. Oh no, there's one contact, and there's been a major crash on the exit, and safety car deployed. Well, we have just witnessed a horrible accident in the background there involving Pleasant Stake. Looks like nobody could sort themselves out. Haas spun in the background, loses part of his front wing end plate. Evil with a drive-through penalty for speeding onto the safety car. Fellow Sun has retired. Oh, there's been another crash. Oh no! Fellow Sun, what happened there? I don't quite know what's happened, but all of a sudden we have drama at the head of the field as well. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, this race has opened up. Everyone has a drive-through. I don't know if there was just a bit of a concertina effect. I'm trying to keep an eye, seeing if there's anything said in the Discord, but I don't see anything as of right now. If Son is here in chat, he will have to explain what happened there. As Andy, RJ, and Herman rightfully now into the pits, I imagine Moksha will follow suit as well. I imagine it is now all to the soft tyre. Everybody, all hands on deck. So what? Moksha with an awful strategy call. What is he? I know he's thinking about the lead of the race, but this is an awful call. You're gonna lose the tyre life. He will lose out on tyre life rather majorly as Andy RJ has been stabbed by his teammate. It goes from bad to worse for the Williams driver. And that is going to be unfortunate. So Andy has also been held up in the pits, and oh no, down to 9th he goes, and he'll be raging about that. It has all gone wrong for the championship holder. As Fellow Sun, second thoughts on the smoke, says Fellow Sun. So there was smoke in front of him, and that's what caused the crash. So it was the lack of visibility. That's what happened. But now, I don't think Moksha has made a... That is... You're going to have to explain that one to me, Moksha, because that one makes no sense. Respectfully. And now Quan is also in the pits, but... How is this going to work? Because now he's off the track. He's off the track. What is he doing? This is really confusing stuff. I think he just got a bit desperate with his right foot or something. What is he doing? He's now on off the track again. Oh, is he just trying to... Oh, he's trying to let lap cars through. Oh, I see. That is actually quite intelligent. As Traban now gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So who are we looking at on the drive-through? Evor and Tabran. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if Moksha can keep the lead, because at the moment, with 2 laps to go, what, the dirt spray? Not going to be well. He's not going to be too well chuffed with the aim. No, he is not. Fellow Son out of the race due to lack of visibility, apparently, and crashing into another car. I think that might have been Evor there trying to slow down, and he must have just locked his tyres. And then, of course, that created the bellows of smoke that we've been seeing these past few weeks. And then Fellow Son just couldn't see where he was going and crashed into the back of one of them. But in the end, what was 20 now becomes 18 thanks to an additional retirement from Fellow Son. Smoke is what you get when you can't live without a cigarette for just a race. Anyway, we will have, I imagine, 2 laps to go at the line. It is going to be a bit of a familiar situation if you watch the 2021 Formula 1 Championship. It's very much, well, it's very much giving sparks of that. But, of course, without all the controversy, very much contact there between the drivers there, and that was Pleasant Snake and the Williams of Skid Solo, I believe it was. Skid Solo just trying to catch up to the back of the pack, as is Tarkin Gino. I don't know if they'll make it in time. Race Control will, of course, call the cars in with 2 laps to go. We actually have a clip here of Fellow Son. I don't think that's the crash. I'll just have a quick look. No, I don't think that's the crash. I'll just take a quick look at it for you. Of course, under this 1 lap safety car, this is going to be a very quick turnaround, that's for sure, with the graphics. But I'll just make sure this is the clip we are looking at. Moksha now leading the way. It's on the oldest hard compounds here of 19 laps. In fact, yes, we have it here. He's actually... Let's have a quick look right now. I should be able to get this done within a quick turnaround, so let's just do that. He's timestamped the VOD for us, so that's very kind of him. But I'm just going to pop it in studio mode, and then... I'm going to be as quick as I can. In fact, actually, I have a better idea. Never mind. We're going to have to save that till the end of the race. So we'll save that till the end of the race. Didn't quite have my scenes fully set up there and ready to go. But anyway, it is what it is. We will look at that at the end of the race. So anyway, please just put a little reminder for me in chat. But we are going to go racing at the end of this lap. And in fact, there you go, right on cue. Safety car is called in by Race Control, and Moksha is in a very interesting position. Moksha in the mud, I do agree, with 19-lap-old hards. It's going to be very interesting. Skid Seller with 2-lap-old mediums as well. He's still trying to catch up to the pack. Will Moksha do him a favour and try and allow him to catch up? I think that's what he's doing right now. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It is all over to you, Moksha. I wonder what Sarah is thinking of this restart as well. And I don't think Sarah will rate that very highly in the restarts, because that has left him quite vulnerable to Herman in front. But now, as we go across the line, 2 laps to go. DRS will be activated next lap, but Moksha will have to try and hold on to this with a gargantuan effort, as Son there with scores. But there you go. There's Herman the German to the inside there. That's the advantage of soft tyres. He's not going to be able to fight that back. Herman takes the lead of the race. So there you go. I think that's going to be your genuine winner. No DRS on the safety car restart. So now Moksha will begin dropping down the field like there's no tomorrow. But look at Energetic 6 as well. No penalties on him. And he's also going to benefit a lot now. Dage David and Race Chase go side by side with one another. Let's just have a look at the penalties as of right now. So Rush the Series will lose out big time, as now Race Chase and Energetic are currently fighting with one another. Of course, I do believe Energetic's just trying to benefit from as many positions as he can. So keep an eye on that towards the end of the race. But look at this. It has all gone to waste for the Red Bull driver. In fact, Evor's not going to serve his drive-through. I do believe that means he will be disqualified from the race. Next lap around, and look at that, Herman with the fastest lap of 106.297. Final lap for the Mercedes driver. And, well, Andy RJ's also going to lose out. But look at this. Moksha to the outside. Only because he was pinned there. And now Danger David up into fourth. But how much will it matter? I don't know. And look at that. He's 3 wide with everybody. He is being absolutely mugged. He's having to try and find his way. Oh, there's contact. And then there's contact between teammates. Moksha might be losing out on a podium. I don't know what he was thinking going on to the oldest set of hearts, but now look at Energetic 6 without any penalties as well. This is a genuine fight, and Moksha finds out why you pit under safety car conditions this late as he heavily defends the inside there rather aggressively, and the Red Bull fights right back. But anyway, we are going to look at this because Herman has played an absolute blinder this week. So it is all come down to the final lap, and Herman execute this perfectly. He is the win number 3 who takes it in Austria and a 20-second drive-through penalty. So penalties will help, but Moksha still takes second place at the end of all of that. And Energetic 6 was only separated by 0.02 of a second. Danger David 4th after all of that. 5th is Andy RJ, Kovachka 6th, Race Chase 7th, Toby 8th. 9th is Russell Siri, No Sebo 10th, 11th is Sargentino, Quan, Quincy, Racing Wheel, Evo, Tabran, Skitsolo, and Velo Ducko, as Tabran also serving his drive. Well, where is he? Where is he actually? Serving his drive through in the pits. GG Moksha, GG's to Herman as well. That was some interesting racing as Tabran confirms his 16th position there as driver of the day goes to Energetic. And you know what? Considering where he qualified, I think that was fully deserved. Okay, oh yeah, well done to Moksha as well. But maybe lose the Ferrari. Strategies. Yeah, that was very risky at the end there from the Red Bull drivers. Now we will start to see celebrations and salutations. Herman the German back on top, and this is his first win in quite a while. Of course, he's taken 3 out of 6 wins. Well, 3 wins out of 6 races. And so, of course, Herman deserves to be leading the way. And, of course, has taken top 5s in all 6 of his races. So this has been a very impressive and consistent season from the Mercedes driver. But for the first time this season, we are welcoming onto the podium Moksha and, of course, Energetic as well. So finally, your confirmation, it's Herman the German in first place, Moksha in second, third is Energetic 6th, then it's Danger David somehow improving up into 4th place. So after all of that, 5th is Andy RJ, and he'll be disappointed with that, I am certain. Kovachka 6th, Race Chase 7th, Toby in 8th, Russell Siri 9th after his 9-second penalty, and 10th is No Sebo, last late improvement for him. Then it's Chino, Quan, Quincy, Racing Wheel, Evo, Tabran, Skid Solo, Vero Ducko, Fellow Son, and Pleasant State being your 2 retirees in the race. And now we will go to a post-race interview. We only have Herman the German and Energetic here right now. But we will start with our winner. Herman, congratulations on that win. You looked to be there from the very start of the race, of course, qualifying in 3rd place. Bit of pressure from Andre, but in the end, the undercut proved to be vital. How did that go?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, honestly, just like the previous races, strategy was again in our favor when we looked at the pit stop gap and the earliest time we can pit to do an undercut. We were in a similar range compared to the last time. And yeah, after we got back out on track and ahead of Andy. Andy had already received that 3-second time penalty, was just managing being behind. Then he sneakily got away on lap 28 with that fastest lap attempt, but thanks to that safety car and a lot of slipstream already on into turn 1 from Moksha, I got that point as well. So yeah, couldn't be happier. And honestly, what a great way to do it. It's almost the closest to a home race. For me, Netherlands is a bit closer, but Austria and Germany have a good history, and I have a friend who lives there and helped me support to prepare for this race weekend. So yeah, I'm over the moon.
I'm glad to hear it. This is actually the first time you've been on the winner's step for what feels like 3 races. You took the first 2 wins in the first 2 rounds, but now you're back here, and it's taken you a while. So what have been? If there been any real adjustments since last being on the winner's step? Of course, you took a podium in the middle of that, but was there any sort of changes that you made? Any sort of changes in your preparation going into this week?
We are, especially for this track, we were more looking at to lower the downforce overall. In China, we had this a big advantage of our race pace where the middle sector was so great and we could follow easily behind other cars, even if they gave us some dirty air. So overall, the approach hasn't really changed. We just try to find where the maximum of low downforce was, and I think we found it perfectly. As at times I wasn't really comfortable in this second sector, but that was mostly due to the worn out mediums at that stage already. And yeah, as I said, sometimes Andy was a bit faster there, but ES management is obviously very crucial. And when you're behind on 3 air zones, you just have it really easy here. So it was always going to be a hard task for anyone to get away here when leading. And yeah, gladly we managed to find the perfect sweet spot to be yeah, able to follow. And in terms of approach, nothing has really changed. Obviously, when you look at how close the season is and how many people have joined the fight at the top, and constructors is also widely mixed due to especially the strong guns, including me and Andy from last season, having a bit of a weaker teammate compared to the other guys like Ferrari and McLaren. You just need those extra points getting ahead of someone that is in second there, and even maximizing today with 6 points of a gap. And obviously, when looking at last season, waited almost all the way through to the end. So every podium, every win is also not taken for granted. And I'm just happy I can stay with the fight and with the group all the time, even on tracks which I don't particularly like, because also was always a middle ground for me previously. So yeah, just race per race and trying to stay at the top.
In terms of next week, we're of course off to Vegas. So how are you feeling about that track? Is that one you've had much experience around?
Yes, we especially with last year's game had done that a lot, and this year's game is even better in terms of traction through the first section after yeah, what is a very short pit straight. And honestly, I think that might be the strongest track out of the remaining we have now left in the season. Enjoy that a lot. Have been driving it a lot already in this game. No league race though, but yeah, I'm gonna look forward to uh, the prep and how we're going to approach this, because strategy wise it was very interesting last game with a 2-stop even being converted there, and my first ever red flag there was a very chaotic race there, but enjoyed it a lot. And even though it might not come to another win or the first win there, I'm there for it, and I'm probably going to enjoy the ride more than others. I think a lot of guys don't like the section where the sphere is. So yeah, just looking forward to watch what I believe is a great track.
All right then. Well, Herman, again, congratulations on your
Thank you.
superb victory, and well, we'll look forward to seeing you in Vegas and see what you have in store for us there.
Thank you, and thank you for casting, Dave.
You're welcome. Moksha, first time you've been on the podium this season. It's great to see you for the first time. A very interesting strategy call right at the end there, but in the end, it paid off by the hundredths there. Well, yeah, by the hundredths, I would imagine. What was your thinking going into that into that only safety car period and staying out on those hards?
Yeah, I mean, I was confident that the safety car will be out for a long time because there were a lot of guys running wide back, some lap cars. Yeah, it was the only possible choice for me to make the position good. I'm not sure what happened to Andy because he was right with Herman. Yeah, I was almost taken out on the last lap. I was happy to catch these guys with the penalties still. Yeah, it was a really hard fight at the end, and I was just keep trying to stay out of this because I was the only one without a penalty with the guys around me. I saw Energetic was hunting me because yeah, I was hit turn 3 or turn 4. Almost lost it, yeah, but I'm happy for the podium, yeah.
And just kind of alluding to those 3-second penalties that you talked about with other drivers, you were one of the few that kept it between the white lines. And so did that actually change your approach as the race went on? Because I saw that as the penalties were coming in, you kind of reserved yourself down a bit. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, I was just keeping it behind Fellowson and Russell Siri. Just stay out of the battles, because if they battle, if they crash, I have enough time to react and don't let ruin my race. So yeah, I was just keeping it back. I was not really fighting.
All right, then. In terms of next week, we are going to be seeing in the Las Vegas circuit. Do you have any thoughts and feelings about that, or just how you feel about your form?
No, I never raced there because I didn't have the chance yet. I let it surprise me. I have a race on Monday, also in Las Vegas, and then I will have some practice for that. And yeah, let's see. I'm not sure how fast I am or not. I just want to race good.
Right then, well look, Moksha, congratulations on a superb but very close second place. We'll hopefully see you at some point in the near future. Have a very good evening.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Last but definitely not least, it's Energetic here on third place. Congratulations on third. You kept it between the white lines. You're, of course, one of the few drivers who managed to do that, benefiting from all the penalties, but unfortunately, it was just a couple of hundredths too short for second place. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, because I didn't expect to be at the podium. I asked the guys in my party, like, do you have the stream on? Do you know the penalties? Because I didn't know. Until I was behind Moxia, I was like, oh god, he doesn't have penalties. Oh god, he's on hards. I need to get past. And I may be a little bit harsh on like giving him space, but I felt like I was like brake checked a little bit into turn 5 or turn 6, like the left-hander, the first left-hander.
Right.
I was behind him and he just braked a little bit earlier because I thought he let his teammate by. And then I was like, okay, I need to get past him on the last lap, you know. I was trying to focus to stay within the white lines the entire race. And it managed to happen once to go out of the line and get a warning for it. It was second to last lap.
Of course, like, you know, it was penalties galore here for you, but like in terms of the final 4 tracks that we've got coming up, which is of course Vegas, Losail, Abu Dhabi, and of course Circuit de Catalunya, are any of those circuits strong for you, and we could be seeing you at a podium, maybe a winning position?
I love Abu Dhabi, and sometimes Losail if I have the rhythm of it, but I'm not fast, so maybe Abu Dhabi.
All right, then. Well, look, Energetic, it was an absolutely fantastic race from you. Well done for keeping it between the white lines, and congratulations again on your third place podium. Go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. I'm going to sleep 6 hours till my alarm.
Goodness me. All right, I'll leave you to it. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, look, that is going to wrap up another evening on SSRL. Of course, as I've stated already, next week it will be Las Vegas. The Elvis Presley had a line for it. I can't remember. Oh, God, I can't remember the line. But anyway, Viva Las Vegas. That was it. So we're off to Viva Las Vegas next week, and then we're off to Losail the week after, finishing off with our final 2 races in Abu Dhabi, and of course our last race, and of course our second full qualifying format in Circuit de Catalunya in Spain. But otherwise, that will be all from us for the time being. So do catch us at 7:30 p.m. GMT every week, here, live, and in full. But otherwise, from wherever you may be in the world, I wish you a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Stay safe, stay alive. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye for now.